Hello, friends.
Welcome.
Oh,
Fuck, no. Dan, you're blowing up my spot.
nope.
Noah.
Hello, guys.
Get
Welcome back
this
to
guy
Off the Air.
podcast.
So help me, Dan. Why'd you ruin it again?
I didn't
Thanks,
ruin
Noah.
anything. Let's go.
I'm the cold open guy.
Well, I wasn't
It's
giving
true.
you a cold open. I was literally just saying welcome back. So go for
That's
it, man.
pretty warm, actually. That's fairly warm, very friendly. It's start of the podcast, which means it's the start of Jackson's beer time.
That is true.
Welcome to the Jackson's Beer Show.
I thought it was Jackson's
where we
Beer
talk
Corner.
about.
It can
Yeah,
be
well, I mean,
whatever
that's-
Jackson wants it to be. It's his beer show corner.
It has been the Jackson Beer Corner, but right now it's the Jackson Beer Show.
Why do I bother?
See, he
don't
stepped
know.
it up this time. There's fireworks. You guys can't see it,
Yeah,
but like
you can't see it. You
in
can't
real
hear it
life
either.
here, there's like explosions.
Here in this
Yeah, I
room
set
that
him up
we're
in
all
Noah's
in,
house.
that we all record in the same.
Well, no, I set him up at Noah's house.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it!
He knew that I would appreciate them and you would not.
Did either of you gentlemen happen to? That's a bit much, but did either of you guys happen to get the beer of the week?
It was at closest 80 miles away from me, so I did have to pass.
It was, dude. I will be honest with you. The amount of searching that because I you know so okay.
You can just say no.
Yeah, I did. I got it. But
Oh,
the
wow.
amount of work I had to do to get it was stupid. And I'm angry about it. But I want to talk about the beer first before I get into how annoying
right.
it was to find.
So today's beer of the week is Purple Haze by Abita Brewing Company. And this is
got a dope logo.
You know, I'm taking you guys on a journey
It's got
this
a
month.
Very
this,
good
this
logo.
isn't just a beer of every week for a month. I mean, it is that, but it's not just that. This is a journey that we're going on together. We started off here in my city of Austin, Texas, and now we're taking a little trip to somewhere that feels almost like home, but couldn't be farther from it. I'm talking about Abita Springs, Louisiana.
That does kind of actually sound like home. Knowing our hometown, that actually.
And it feels like it too. I actually, I got a good friend of mine down there. A friend of mine named McCain. We went to high school with him. Or I went to high school with him. I
freaking
believe
love
Noah
that
knows him as
dude.
well.
I thought for
Yeah,
sure
no one
you
knows
were
him
going to
as
say, I have a good friend down there. It's a Beatus Brewing Company. And then like segue it. And I would have been very impressed.
Yeah, no one knows McCain. He's a great guy. One of my oldest friends. We've been friends since second grade in elementary school.
Now, I gotta ask
And,
you though, were you
yeah.
one of the people that thought McCain looked like my brother Jeff, or did you understand that he
no.
really didn't look anything like him?
Long-haired people don't look the same.
Thank you.
Yeah, just because people have long hair does not mean they look the same.
Can confirm.
But Abita Springs is actually where he lives. It's a pretty small town.
Nice.
And I went there to visit, stayed with him for about a week. It is around half an hour away from New Orleans,
Oh,
okay.
and it's on the north side of the shore. So it's on the north side of the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, which if you don't know about the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, it is the longest bridge over water in the world.
Okay.
Not the longest bridge in the world, although I believe it was at one point in time. It's the longest bridge that's continuously over one body of water.
Fun.
Yeah, it's about 23 miles. I drove across it a couple times when we were going to the city. It's a really cool place. And New Orleans itself is a really neat city that I would recommend visiting. But Abita Springs is like this little gem on the north side. It started as a hippie commune. And yeah, and it slowly spiraled into just being like this nice little town. Everybody knows everybody, but it's not in a bad way. You know?
like that. I like it
It's not-
started
it
as a
doesn't feel
hippie commune
toxic.
and spiraled into a nice town. Mm-hmm. I
think that's
appreciate
There's
the
nowhere
only
to
way
go
to
but down from
describe
hippie
that.
commune.
I mean,
Yeah, because there's no way to go but down from hippie commune, right?
if you say so, bud.
I got commune stories, but first I'm going to talk about this beer. It's Purple Haze is the name of it. Obviously inspired by your man, Jimi Hendrix, and his hugely popular song. It's got like a little voodoo guy on the cover playing a guitar. And
Yeah, he
it's
looks
a
real- he
raspberry
looks real cool.
lager. Yeah, it's a very cool looking bottle. And it's a raspberry lager. You can probably find it at any big seller of alcohol. If you're here in Texas, you can get it at pretty much any grocery store. You might have to look a bit harder in some states like Pennsylvania where you can't buy beer anywhere.
Mine is also a little bit like, I don't know if it's the same bottle size for you, but like compared to like a normal bottle, which tends to be like pretty thin and long, it's a little bit shorter and fatter as well, which I think
It is a
kinda
short,
neat.
fat bottle. Yeah, still the same amount. It's still 12 ounces, but
Yeah.
it's a shorter, fatter bottle.
It's a nice thick bottle.
Yeah, I actually went to this brewery, to this Abita Brewing Company. When I was in Abita Springs, McKenna and I took a little trip. We were going out for the day, and we went down to the brewing company. They have a really nice tap room. It's a gorgeous, very like wood finished, all like oak countertops, bar stools, and they've got like a nice little like tap room. They got we were there on like a Wednesday morning. It was really quiet. It was just the two of us, and there's this bartender back there. She was super cool, just like hanging out. It was a really, really nice room. And you can take a tour for like $5 and they give you a coin that gives you a free pint of beer. So
Nice.
it's worth doing a tour.
Yeah, sounds like it.
For the record,
Also-
no matter where you go, if you can do a brewery tour, like or a winery tour, I would say 9 times out of 10 they're super worth.
Yeah, they are cool.
They're very fun to go through, and they almost always give you some kind of wine at the end of it. I've done winery tours. But same general idea.
Yeah, so when you said inspired by my man Jimi Hendrix, and then you said it's got this cool guy on the cover, I hadn't actually looked up any of the art of it yet. I just looked up to see where I could buy some. And looking at it now, I'm like super mad that I couldn't get something with Baron Samedi on the cover because it's fantastic.
Who is that?
Oh, Baron Samedi, he's a voodoo icon.
Oh, Voodoo Icon. That's who that is.
Yeah. I don't really know how to explain his position in voodoo lore because I'm actually not super familiar. Most of what I know about him is his appearance in James Bond, Live or Let Die, which is it's such a terrible movie. I love it so much.
How dare you?
Living
James Bond is an art. You
I'm sorry.
uncultured
Every
swine.
single bad guy in that movie is black, and all the good guys are white.
Yikes.
I didn't say it wasn't a little racist.
And the
That doesn't
only
make it not
reason
art.
everyone's black is because they're in New Orleans the whole time, and obviously only black
should
people
watch that
live in
movie.
New Orleans, according to that movie.
I love New Orleans, guys. Give it a visit. And this beer is great. It's a raspberry lager. Very nice for like a hot summer day, which we're running out of this time of year. But, you know, it kind of takes you on a little bit of a journey when you drink it. Down to a place a little bit more southern, a little bit warmer, and a little bit more swampy. So Purple Haze by Abita Brewing is your beer of the week. Go give it a try if you got a chance to. If you don't, if you ever stumble across it, see what you can do. Now let's talk about communes.
Let's
I
talk
was
about
gonna
communes.
I was
went-
gonna bitch about the amount of work I had to put in to find this stupid beer.
Okay, tell me
Actually,
how long did it take you to get the beer?
So I live in the heart of Philly, and part of living in a big city, as I'm sure you're aware, Jackson, is there are beer stores like every 3, 4, 5 blocks, corner stores that have beer.
You can sell beer anywhere, pretty much in Texas. So
That
you go to the
doesn't
7-Eleven,
surprise
you're
me.
buying some beer.
That does not surprise me. Pennsylvania
Can
is a
you
little
also
more, or at
buy
least
guns and ammo?
No, but okay. To be fair, you guys both realize that Pennsylvania is the only state where you can't buy beer in a 7-Eleven.
I'm well aware.
Yeah.
Just
making sure you guys knew that.
I know.
yeah.
It's a little upsetting. PA, especially Philadelphia, is a little more strict. So in my case, we have just a crap load of like little like corner beer stores that are like one guy and like his wife and like son or daughter or whatever. So really little things. And I'm like, okay, dope. New beer. Haven't tried it. Not really a beer person. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do some Googling, see if I can't find somewhere nearby that sells it. Lo and behold, there's one place in like the 5-mile radius of me that sells it. And it closes at weird hours. I don't remember the exact time off the top of my head. And so I had to today, because I literally just picked it up a couple hours before we started recording. I picked
it up about 20 minutes ago, so don't feel bad.
book it out of class, try to get over there in time. And it took me like 20 minutes inside the store to find this stupid thing because it wasn't in any of the wall like freezer, cooler, whatever's. It wasn't any of the places that you would expect. Turns out the little 6-pack of it that I found was behind, like they had this big like cooler of like for cans of like one of those think the kind of cooler you'd find like popsicles in or whatever, but it had cans of whatever. Like all sorts of fruity-ish drinks. It was behind that on a shelf, and to get it out, I had to like pull the cooler like a foot and a half away just to reach the container. And I'm not saying that, you know, it's the worst thing in the world that I had to do some work for my beer. I am saying that I'm upset that it took me that long. And then because of Philadelphia drink tax, it was so pricey. It was like $20 to get a 6-pack.
That's crazy.
It was
I just went to Whole
not
Foods
cheap.
and it was like $7.99.
Yeah, it was not cheap. I'd have to double check.
Thank you for your service.
Listen, man, I do this not for you, Jackson. I do this for the
Thank God.
audience. I do it for them.
Well, how do you feel about it?
I don't know yet. I opened it just as we like brought up the name. And I don't know yet. It's light. It's not like a really like it has distinct flavor, but it's not like really it's not a very harsh flavor or anything.
It's a raspberry.
It's a very light. I taste more of the beer part than I do the raspberry. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's not bad. I probably wouldn't go out and buy it personally, like as somebody who doesn't like beer. But I'm not gonna like. I was worried when I was picking up. I'm like, oh man, there's a chance that I spent $20 on this, and I will hate it, and then I'm just stuck with like 5 more beers that I do not like, and that means I have to have people come get them or have friends over to drink them, and like, who wants to do that? Am I right?
That's true. That sounds very strenuous.
That's so much work, but it's pretty good. I will definitely drink out the rest of it, and I really do. I like I said, I really think the art on it is really cool, and I think that like the whole stylization on it is neato.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so communes. I went to a party recently. It was actually a Halloween themed party. I know a little bit late for a Halloween party, but it's whatever. You gotta get your party in sometimes.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly. If everybody has their party on Halloween, you're gonna have some pretty bad parties because you can't go to all of them, so you're just gonna have to dabble. Anyway,
especially since Halloween was on a Wednesday. Let's be real.
That's true. Yeah, that's not convenient for anybody. So I went to this place called the Pearl Street Co-op. Is what it is. It's the largest co-op in Austin. If you don't know what co-op is, it's basically like a whole bunch of people living out of like a college dorm that's been abandoned.
Nice.
So like someone privately buys an old college dorm, usually doesn't refurbish it, but occasionally they do, and then people pay them a dangerously low amount of money to live there, and they basically just all share resources. As a result, it gets to be a little bit grody at times. And this place was very punk, very grunge.
Nice.
And my friend Chris, actually, his band, Risky Motion, feel free to look them up. They did a show there. It was cool. They had a good time. It's just going to basically a commune of like 120 people and then just partying hard was a surreal experience. But it was really fun. I would do it again.
How do you guys feel about communes? Like as like an idea of like would you ever live in a commune?
I would not.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad I'm not alone on this.
Very much appreciate owning my own things and being able to like
capitalism.
Be angry at people who try to take my things.
I am a slave to consumerism.
See, I feel like I could almost live in a commune, and I get that like it goes against the whole idea, but like I could get behind the idea of like sharing everything except for like a tiny bedroom or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I would be, if I could have just a tiny area that I could like hide in and like sit with my laptop or something in relative quiet, I could live with that. And like,
you mean our laptop?
Yeah, exactly. But like, I would not be okay. I've had roommates my entire life, literally from the age of like 4 up until like a year and a half ago when I got my own place and I have my own room. I have housemates, but I don't have roommates. I don't think I would ever want to go back to having like to being that close with people.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just
I can completely agree.
It's just a lot of work to be that close to like have people in your house that often or in your house, in your space, like in like whatever. There's no such thing as personal space at that point.
Yeah, and it's mostly college students, to be fair.
That's fair.
So it's pretty much just like college kids trying to save a couple bucks on rent, and I can get behind that. But I couldn't live in a commune. I mean, I could because I have an incredibly low standard of living.
I could because I have incredibly low standards.
And, I could probably hang out in a commune with some incredibly low standards of living because I'm already used to that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's just a wild idea of like that, like, no, like the idea of communes are so interesting to me.
I see why people do it. I just personally don't think it's for me.
Yeah. I get that.
Mm-hmm. So, today I went to a part of town called Dripping Springs.
Did you say Dripping Springs?
Yeah, it's Dripping Springs.
Oh, drip. Okay.
It did sound like he said derping, and I kind of wish that was the name instead. That would be a better name.
A weird name for a town, but also it would be kind of funny. In 2012.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
No, so I was moving on. Go ahead.
You're just letting my bad jokes simmer.
No. Hey, listen. Now you know how it feels.
Yeah, it must be terrible, man.
Doesn't feel good, does it?
Sorry to feel you have to go through that. But have you tried being funny like me?
I have, and then I gave up. Like I do on everything I fail at.
Damn, one day you'll get it.
Wow.
I don't think I will. I've got bad news. I don't think I'll ever be funny.
So, I went to Dripping Springs. You know what they do there? Make a lot of alcohol.
Really?
Ooh.
a lot. You guys are familiar with the brand of vodka Deep Eddy?
No.
I am not.
Oh, right. Well, it's a pretty big brand in Texas. It's one of the biggest. Tito's and Deep Eddy are the two big ones down here. And Deep Eddy is made in Dripping Springs. I saw the distillery. We didn't go tour the distillery because, we were going to lunch, me and a friend of mine. And it's a really big vodka distillery, but it looked super pretty, like really like high tech, really welcoming, and very like, I wanted to go by, but I didn't because I was like, I also don't want to get drunk before I even eat anything today.
Right.
And we stopped at a bar and I did anyway, and I was like, damn it.
Sounds like quitter
We
talk
should
a
have just gone to the
lot.
vodka place. Although we did go to a restaurant called Kimberly's in a town called Wimberley.
Okay.
I hate that. Like
I hate everything about that so much.
hey, what should we call our restaurant here in Wimberley? Kimberly. You know who owns it?
Tom.
Not somebody named Kimberly, some dude. Yeah.
His name's Tom.
I was like, you did this on purpose. You just named your place Kimberly's to rhyme with the city and make everyone angry, but also make everyone remember it because it's a very memorable name.
Do not.
Yeah,
This is
that's
not
fair.
a sponsor for that place, and I'm angry
The food
that
was
like.
so good though, so it kind of is.
Boy,
It was so good.
fam.
And it was cheap too. It was like my burger was like $10. It was a half-pound burger. It had like avocado and shit on it. It was so good.
That's not true. I actually love avocado.
Whoa,
I'm just
whoa.
allergic.
Wait, you're allergic to avocado?
Yeah.
Are you allergic to any other fruits?
Kiwi.
Oh, so
I'm
you're
allergic
just
to strawberries and tomatoes and pineapples.
green. Really?
Ooh, pineapple's
So
rough.
combined, we have
like
a
half
large
of
fruit
the-
allergy.
Yeah, we have a big old fruit
Noah,
allergy.
what about you?
I'm allergic to nothing except
Noah.
Not
pollen.
even bullets?
Hey Noah. Hey Jackson. Do you want to take this one?
Take what?
Take it away. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Go for it,
Say
man.
what
I
you're
was
saying
just
to
gonna.
my
I was lobbing it to you.
allergy-free
Don't worry
self.
about it. Go for it.
Oh, I said that if not allergic to anything, I ask, what about bullets?
Oh,
Oh, that also works.
yeah. I guess I would be allergic to bullets.
Checkmate.
Checkmate atheists.
Checkmate atheists.
No, it's a really weird thing where like I won't. Okay, so I guess we're transitioning to allergies then.
Are we?
I mean,
Because
I don't,
I already said all mine though.
I don't
I'm
want
out-
to
I'm
talk
out the
about
game.
allergies, really.
well,
Let's talk about
well,
allergies.
here's the thing.
Dang.
So for avocado, right? It's not that I can't eat it. It's not that I like throw up. It just destroys my stomach. Like makes me wish I was dead.
Okay.
And kiwi
Shit, everything does that to me.
oof, big mood.
Maybe maybe that's a me problem.
Oh,
Damn it.
damn it. Are you allergic to yourself, Jackson?
I might be allergic to the amount of alcohol I intake on any given day.
Nah, that's fine.
That couldn't be part
That's
of
just
the
Nah,
called
problem.
that's
kidney
fine.
failure.
Yeah, that's a totally different thing.
Okay, cool. So I'm good?
You're good, man. You're good.
All right, thanks.
Kiwi, I'm not actually allergic to the fruit itself. I'm allergic to the skin.
Well, you don't eat the
Dan,
skin
do
though,
you
so
eat the skin like an apple?
We used to grow kiwis, so yes, absolutely. I've eaten the
What?
skin like an apple.
Oh no. Oh my gosh, that's making me super unhappy because I got like weird texture issues. And a big one is fuzzy fruit. Like I can't eat peaches, not because I don't like peaches, because I love peaches. But
I really
hate,
like your peaches. Want to shake your tree?
I like those fuzzy fruits.
but I hate how fuzzy peaches are. It like makes me want to die when it touches my tongue. So it's either a peeled or shaved peach or a canned peach. Is all I
What
can
about
eat.
like a tangerine?
I do find your peaches appealing.
Are tangerines fuzzy?
I don't think so.
Then they're fine.
They're kind of like a nice like citrusy. Tangerines are
Like kind of like
no
oranges, but
tangerines are
not-
more like oranges. It's
Yeah.
nectarines that are like peaches.
That's what you're thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, too many arenes, honestly.
Well, those are fine too, as long as if the fruit
I'm
isn't
allergic to
fuzzy, it's fine.
tambourines.
Now,
Tambourines,
kiwis are okay
nectarines.
because the fuzzy they are is not the same kind of weird fuzzy that peaches are. Peaches are
It's
like
hairy.
velvet, and I can't stand velvet. Velvet makes me want to die. But kiwis they're just like fuzzy, like my arm, and it's fine.
I don't know how to
I
deal,
disagree.
How to
I'm
deal
on the
with
opposite
this.
spectrum.
I mean, I'm obviously on the opposite spectrum because of allergies, but that's weirdly specific. Not bad.
See, I don't mind peach fuzz that much.
No,
I don't like
peach
it,
fuzz
but I
is
don't
fine.
mind it. A kiwi fuzz is weird though. I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't help that-
You know what I really don't like though? Pineapples.
And
I feel
is it just
so bad
because you're
for you.
allergic, or is it because
They
other reasons?
make my mouth bleed.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but this is one of those facts that I absolutely loathe. Because every time someone talks about fruit, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm allergic to pineapple. They're like, did you know everyone's technically allergic to pineapple? I'm like, yes.
Wait, really?
So basically, pineapple has an enzyme in it that breaks down proteins that are in your mouth. So if you eat like a pound of pineapple, your mouth will probably start to hurt. Have you ever had that happen before? Does your mouth feel sore?
Pineapple juice, yeah.
Yeah, so that just like is a natural thing that'll happen to any human. So when I say I'm allergic to pineapple, people are like, well, everyone's allergic to pineapple. If I eat like a couple pieces of pineapple, my mouth starts to bleed and I have sores.
Jesus.
Because for whatever reason, the protein works a lot faster in me. I don't know. It's not a super uncommon allergy to have like that reaction with, but it can happen.
Is it any kind of like form of pineapple? Like if you have like pineapple juice mixed with like something alcoholic or something, like in a mixed drink?
Cooked pineapple, I don't think will do it. Pineapple juice, I don't really know. I just try. I avoid it even if it's cooked on like a pizza or like in juice form. I just avoid it.
Or on a that's
a super good question, by the way.
Oh, are we gonna be decisive on this?
I would like to know what you guys' opinion on pineapple on pizza is. Obviously, Jackson, not a fan.
Dude, you do.
It makes my mouth bleed.
Dan, how about you?
Just do you, man. Fucking, who am I to tell you how to have your pizza? As long as your pizza isn't hurting anybody, who cares? Do what you want.
I appreciate
and if
that.
it is, then it has pineapple on it because it's hurting me. So
I've always been a fan of pineapple. But
I view pizza flavors much the same way I view fetishes. Like, you can put quite a bit on there before it starts getting weird. I like
it when it's inflated, like distension.
I like that stuffed crust. What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you know the bubbles, like pizza will get like those like dough bubbles.
Pop them for good luck or whatever.
Pizza like I like my fetishes.
I hate that
inflated.
So much.
I like my pizza like I like my Sonic the Hedgehog art. Inflated.
I was gonna say I like my pizza like I like my furries.
Stop.
Furry and in my mouth
all around me.
Ew, that's terrible.
You like furry pizza?
Who would like furry pizza?
Listen, man. Listen, you've never just let a pizza stay in your fridge for a little too long?
I've never.
I don't put pizza in the fridge.
Yeah, who puts pizza in the fridge?
Cops.
Well, I mean, I guess you might.
Wait, you don't put pizza in the fridge and then like you guys don't do morning pizza?
I do morning pizza.
I do, but I don't put it in the fridge.
Yeah, leave it out.
Wait, you just leave it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I close the box.
Whack. No, I can't back you on this.
It does not go bad.
I cannot back you on this. I'm sorry. Where you go, Anakin, I cannot follow.
Fine.
That's wild.
I'll leave it out if I got like a boxed pizza, but I'll also leave it out if I just like cooked a pizza and there's some left over. I'll just come back to it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So weird.
It doesn't need to be in a box. It doesn't need to be wrapped up. I just leave it out and I eat it the next day.
I like cold pizza, but I like it as room temperature pizza, not cold pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. When I say cold pizza, I actually mean room temp, not
absolutely.
I
just
can't
like
stand
not
room
hot.
temperature pizza.
Why?
You're a fucking cop.
Because it's not cold pizza gets like kind of hard, right? Like it gets that's why I like it. Like the midpoint is like not hard enough to be like hard and not soft enough to be soft, and it's just kind of nasty to me. And I understand that, you know, people have different opinions about their pizza. You know, just because I like pizza a certain way doesn't mean other people do.
I'm really glad that me asking about pineapple provided this divisive topic here.
I'm surprised we weren't more divisive on the whole pineapple on pizza thing.
Well, I'm allergic, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
I don't really have a say.
Nobody cares about your allergies,
I'm just saying,
Jackson.
if you're like, Jackson, why do you have a stronger opinion on pineapple on pizza?
Hey,
like,
Jackson.
I don't know. Probably because I don't have a horse in that race.
Fair enough.
So, because my apartment, we don't have to pay for electricity because my landlord would have to rewire the entire building so that he could get 2 meters in here. But we do have to pay for gas. This is a total non sequitur here because I just don't want to talk about pizza anymore.
I can respect that.
I can't, but
so
go ahead.
What we did is my roommate and I decided, you know what, it's cold, but we don't want to pay for gas. So we bought room heaters because they're electric.
You guys are fucking...
And I'm sitting here with my heater blowing on me, and I'm right now... I decided to try out this new gin. I was talking to Dan about it before we started recording.
Yeah, that's what you heard the pop from a couple of times, unless he decides to take it out.
I guess I'll leave it in now. Now that you mentioned it, I'll leave it in.
Now that I've called him out on it. Ha!
But
my plan.
It's called Hendrix, and I've never had this before. I usually do Tanqueray or Blue Sapphire. You know?
Bombay,
yeah. But right now I have this heater blowing on me, and I'm 4 shots of gin in, and I'm not enjoying how quickly this is making me go. So
Hendrix is good.
It is very good gin. I actually like it a lot.
That's a gin you'll get. You see it a lot of places.
The only thing I don't like about it is pretty expensive.
It is not cheap, but a good gin is never cheap.
That's fair. Yeah, this was a $20 gin, but it's half as big as a bottle of comparable $20 gin. Like, I could get twice as much Tanqueray for this. But
yeah, no, Hendrix is
this tastes
a top
less like a
shellfish.
tree. So
See, I like it when it tastes more like a tree.
Mhm.
I love the juniper berry taste. I want as much of it as possible. If you could just put pine needles in a bottle and give it to me, that would be ideal.
Oh
Dan,
man, I was
were
gonna
you the
say,
one-
are we bringing it back to allergies? Because I can. Oh boy.
I was going to say, because I believe I tried to get you to drink gin
Yep.
once, and you're like, oh, but I'm allergic to pine. When I said,
I
yeah,
am.
man, it's like shoving your face in a Christmas tree. And you're like, oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah, I was on board.
Are you allergic to berries?
I'm allergic.
Like juniper
Okay.
berries?
I am not allergic to gin. Since we had this conversation. This was what, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while back.
I was of legal age years ago.
Totally.
Dude, no. Okay, whatever.
Whatever. I mentioned that I really didn't, I wasn't 1,000% sold on the idea of having gin as like one of whatever we were drinking that night. Was that for D&D?
It was D&D.
Yeah. The D&D, the infamous D&D session we talked about a couple of podcasts back. Go ahead and back and listen to it. Anyway, and I said that, I'm very allergic to pine. And I will, and obviously since then I found that that it doesn't matter. Gin is fine. The only difference is that gin can fuck up my stomach a little faster than other liquors, but not in a really noticeable, like, oh, if I have gin, it's going to destroy my night kind of way. Just in a, I don't generally drink gin.
I don't know what it is about gin, but gin gets me drunk really, really fast.
Gin gets me sick.
And I don't appreciate it.
Like if I want to throw up, I just drink some gin.
Honestly,
that's sad.
Tracks.
I like it, but it just makes me sick.
See, I could drink like a comparable amount of whiskey to this, and I would not be nearly as bad off as I am right now. Have you guys ever had a Negroni?
I'm sorry, what?
A Negroni.
I have to call
It's a
I think I have to
beverage.
call it
It's a beverage.
SJWs.
Can I get you to
So-
spell that for me?
It is.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Hey man, I just drank this sick Negroni.
The more you say, the more I don't like it. Go.
Isn't that their word?
No, stop. Okay, so here's what
Wow,
a Negroni.
it took him that long to realize.
Okay, so the Negroni is 1 part gin, 1 part sweet vermouth, and 1 part Campari. Okay,
It's Campari.
Campari.
Isn't that like a sweet and sour type kind of like
it's a bitter wine.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So you then take it, you shake it, pour it over your ice cube, and then you serve it with a twist of orange peel.
Wait, you pour it over Public Enemy #1?
Yeah, ice.
Nice.
Yeah. Ice.
Ice cube, not vanilla ice.
Yes, ice cube. But
His legal
Ice
name.
cubey.
but you take it, you twist the orange so you get those oils everywhere. You pop it on top. You have a great time. Here's the thing, though, it tastes so bad. The first one I made it with an older orange that didn't have a lot of oil in the peel, and it tasted like a musty old orange, which I've since found is the Campari taste. It kind of tastes a little musty. But I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna push past this, and I'm gonna try another one, because I have heard that you need to drink like 3 of them to know whether you really like it or not. And the second one, I didn't have this all in one go. The first one, though, I drank it, and it messed me up right away. And I'm talking about like literally 1 shot of gin, 1 shot of Campari, and 1 shot of sweet vermouth. It's
not that much.
a lot of alcohol, but it's not
That's
a lot of
like
alcohol.
2 shots worth of
Yeah,
alcohol.
Exactly.
That's
It's
nothing.
not a lot of alcohol. For anyone, it's not a lot of alcohol. And I didn't drink.
What about for like a 3-year-old?
I didn't drink all of it. Okay, fine. For a 3-year-old, it's a lot of alcohol.
Thank you.
But I didn't drink all of it. Jeff had a little bit as well. But I was rolling on that. It was not cool. So I made another one.
Rolling is what they say when you're on Molly, as a heads up.
Yes, I know.
Just making sure you were high on Molly.
I was exactly high.
I'm
Maybe
starting to
that
think
was
that
the
might have
problem.
been. Maybe that was
I
a
was
problem.
high on Molly, and then I drank this drink.
So I did a whole bunch of meth, and then I had one of these the new Bud Light oranges, and I was throwing up for a while. So I really just don't think they're very good.
Hey, don't joke
Man, I
about
smoked
meth.
a-
Tori is
I
like
smoked a
riddled
shit
with
ton of
meth.
crack,
It's not
and then
funny
I-
here.
Would you do it?
Then I smoked
No.
some weed, and all of a sudden, I was just tripping the fuck out, man. I don't know what the hell was going on.
I'm sorry, you're tripping on weed? Is this the
Did you not
1980s?
hear? Did you not hear the joke?
No.
That's fine. You didn't hear the beginning
I
half
missed
of
the
it. Keep
beginning.
going.
I'm sorry.
Keep going. No, like,
Guys, I
was-
can't wait. I can't wait for DMT to stop being a thing people talk about.
Right? Oh my gosh.
It's so annoying. I just wish people would stop talking about hallucinogenics and get over themselves. That's all.
I don't see why this is suddenly a thing. Sorry, I'm lost.
You don't have to deal with that on like a near daily basis.
No, because people
Weird.
who do
Maybe
drugs
that's just an Austin thing. I don't know.
people who do drugs in this area, actually they're not slick at all about it. But like, if they're doing anything more than literally just weed, like,
It's all like Adderall and uppers to make them do better in school.
god damn right it is. Not that I would know anything about doing Adderall.
See, there's a thing where like you do that whole, hey guys, when I was of the legal age to drink,
I mean,
and that's just kind of like, huh. But then when you're like, hey guys, as a college student, I totally don't do Adderall.
I mean,
that's a bit weird.
it's
I
prescribed
think
because I have
I was gonna
ADHD.
say, it would be
it's
better
a-
to say I'm ADHD, so it's fine that I do Adderall.
Yeah.
That,
Do you
but that's
sell
not
it
the
to people?
joke. Like that's not. No, I don't because
You should.
dude. Okay, hold on,
You know how many
hold on.
cases
Quick
of,
asterisk. Quick asterisk. Everything I'm about to say is a joke and blah 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 blah. Blah whatever. No,
Just
Adderall.
tell
Dude,
people
Adderall
you
is
sell Adderall.
stupid. Fucking like the amount that you can sell Adderall for is stupid. One of my.
Wait, what do people pay for Adderall out there?
Let me. Shoot. I used to know. Last I checked, it was like it was like $50 for like a handful of like a double handful of pills. Like it was not like it was.
Well, a
it was
double
pricey.
handful is quite a few pills.
It was. I'm talking like 20, like something like something stupid small like
That's
that.
not that bad. 20 pills, $50.
Well, considering I get them through my insurance for $1 for like 30 or 40.
Well, yeah,
my
but
gosh.
And it also
Well, that's
obviously,
not that
that also
bad.
depends on like the hold on. Let's see if I can see what Google says about the going. How much is the street price of Adderall? How much
Good
is the street
job.
value for
Now
20
you're on an
milligrams?
FBI watch list.
Dude, if this is what puts me on the FBI, a single. Okay, so I am very very off in my remembrance of numbers.
yeah, they sell what, $3 to $5?
On June 9th of 2015, a 20 milligram pill is selling for $6 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have let's see.
Wait, they're saying $6 a gram?
No, $6 a pill.
Okay, I thought I said that was a gram average.
No, they're mine are 20. I guess we're getting into my medication now. Whatever. Mine are 25. It just depends on what. It also depends on like the time of year and stuff like that, because that's, I don't know if you guys know, but drugs don't go always for the exact same price at all times of the year, and like depending on what's going
I know
on.
a thing or two about buying drugs.
Do you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you not?
I mean, I'm not going to
I don't
legally
buy drugs
say
myself,
I'm not
but,
going
like,
to say
I
that
know
I do, because that sounds like implication.
It's not like you just say you know things about buying drugs, you go to prison.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Fuck, you can say you do meth. You don't go to jail for doing meth. You go to jail for having meth on you.
I don't know that that's how that works, but
It is,
all
yeah.
right.
Like if you're being high on meth, not a crime.
Interesting.
It's true.
Is it
I don't
not
know
a-
how to.
It's not being high is not a crime. Possessing the paraphernalia or having any of it on you, that's a crime.
Huh. The more you know.
But if someone just like puts meth in my mouth or whatever, I don't really know how meth works. I don't know if you can eat it or not. But let's say someone like gets me high on meth and then like they run away with everything they used to get me high on meth and I don't have any on me. And like a cop stops me, I can be like, hey dude, I'm high on meth right now. And they could put you in like a drunk tank and hold you overnight, but they can't charge you for anything.
I don't think that's the case everywhere though, because I know there's
That might be a Texas thing.
well, no, I don't think it's like a Texas thing, but I think it's a more progressive places thing.
Texas is not a progressive place.
Well, that is fair.
Is being high a crime?
Well, specifically, we're talking about meth.
Well, the reason as to why they usually aren't able to get you on any kind of crime for being high is because by the time they'd be able to actually get any evidence in court or get any kind of warrant for you to submit to a blood or urine test, any like trace is going to be minor, and you can argue that it was from a while ago. You can make the case for like a wrongful arrest, and it's just not worth them trying to do that for the potential lawsuits and backlash that they could get. Because like the cops, like you can sue the cops, and a lot of people do.
I believe it.
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, this is so
Sorry,
sad.
I forgot I had
Please play
I forgot I had
Despacito.
an alarm that goes off at this time of day.
Oh, I'm sorry for
Never
Play
you.
recording.
Despacito.
Whenever you're listening to it, listener, just know that my alarm goes off every time this time.
We've never recorded this
Why?
late, so that would never be a concern.
I didn't say when we were recording. I said when they were listening to it, Noah.
Oh,
You should listen.
your
and
alarm
stop being
goes off
drunk.
That sounds
That's
problematic.
rude, firstly. Secondly, there's no set time frame for this podcast, so you're just
That's
like,
the joke.
yes, my
That's
dear
the
listener,
joke.
the podcast alarm goes off at this time every night.
No, I said it goes off whenever you, the audience, are listening to it. Just know that it goes off every day at whatever time you're listening to it. Like that's what I said. I don't know what.
I'm just watching this video of this girl riding a horse, and she like starts sliding off sideways, and the horse runs right by a telephone pole, and she fucking slaps her head on it. And the caption is, Red Dead Redemption 2's graphics really are amazing.
This podcast has gone right off the rails.
It has.
That should be that's our new title. I'm changing the name.
Off the rails.
Off the rails.
Whoa.
I think Noah's having more fun than both of us right now,
Gee,
Dan.
I don't think that was not that funny, buddy.
It wasn't.
It's
It wasn't
pretty
funny at all.
I mean, ouch, but also, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Oh man, Noah, how many shots? Okay, so let's just do a quick tally. Hey Noah, how many shots have you had so far?
6.
Jesus Christ, buddy!
Guys, what is going on in this episode of the Off the Air? Of the Off the
I
Air.
have
I'm
not even
supposed to be
finished
the
my
reasonable
beer.
voice. I know I'm supposed to be reasonable, and I apologize to anyone who's disappointed.
No, what's
I'm
your
not being
deepest secret?
reasonable.
Noah, tell us a story.
What type of story do you want?
I don't know. Give us
about
whatever.
goblins?
When you are at a party and you're telling people stories, what's your go-to story?
I don't talk to people at parties. I go there and I hang out with the people I know already.
What about goblins?
Oh, I can tell you a story about the last party I went to, though.
You ever seen
Fine,
a goblin?
that
I have
works.
not. Okay, so the last party I was
He's
at,
about
there were
to.
no goblins because I've never seen goblins. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, I know, right? But my singer
real.
for my band, Ari and the Voiceless, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Or don't, because he's apparently too drunk to.
Excuse me, sir.
Let my man know what's up.
Anyway, so my singer was like, hey, do you want a drink? And I'm like, absolutely, I want a drink. And she's like, oh, I mixed my drinks a little strong. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And she's like 50-50 strong. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Thinking I'm about to get a Jack and Coke that's, 2 shots of whiskey and 2 shots of Coke, approximately. Nah, she fills up a red Solo cup halfway filled with Jack Daniels and then just tops it off with Pepsi.
Oh God, it was a rum and Pepsi, not a rum and Coke.
That's
No,
Jack
it was
Daniels
a
is not
Jack
rum.
and Pepsi because we only had Pepsi, and yeah, it wasn't a Coke. Which honestly, for whiskey, I think it works better because the sweetness of the Pepsi offsets the whiskey in a nice way. Because rum complements Coke real nice, but rum wouldn't work with
I
whiskey.
like rum. Wait, rum wouldn't work with whiskey?
I'm sorry, rum wouldn't work with Pepsi. Sorry, my mistake.
Rum and whiskey work fine.
Do they?
I mean, I've definitely had something with rum and whiskey in it. I'd have to look, but
What's a Long Island iced tea got in it? That's not rum and whiskey. That's vodka, gin, and
let's see, rum
Whiskey?
and whiskey mix. Dang, this is an alcohol episode.
It is an alcohol episode.
Now you know, and knowing is half
This
the
is the
battle.
drunk episode that you've been wanting for ages.
Not like this.
we're not drunk.
You could be.
I like the
I've had
attitude.
half of one of these. Abita Brewing, Purple
Literally,
Hazes.
that's all I had. I've just passed the halfway point.
You could
Me too.
also be 7 shots in like me, or
7
you could
now,
be
huh?
half a beer in. I
No,
never
I
drink.
have-
This is
No,
great.
this is
Guys,
a
do you-
message to you when you're editing this. All right.
Yeah.
I need you to put like a little ding counter on the on the video.
Every single
It
time
just counts out every time you take a shot. Because the
100%.
audience needs to see this.
How's he gonna know? Hey, Noah, this is a message to you when you're editing.
Yeah.
Cowboy butts make me go nuts.
Now that's a message
Got
to
him.
Noah right now.
It's a message to the people of the world.
That's a message. I like the idea of you saying that, and it's like a message like for something 30 years in the future. Like it's like it's a
like
fucking
the-
code.
People of Earth, cowboy butts make me go nuts.
Is this when Ram Ranch plays in the background?
18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch?
Oh man,
No,
bringing back
but
old
there
days.
is
Nothing better than that.
There is a poem I have created. Are you ready? Cowboy butts and redneck sluts. These two things make me go nuts. Born on a mountain, raised in a cave. Fucking and trucking is all I crave. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. It's not original, although it is sewn together, and the first half of it's my own. But I saw the Born on a Mountain thing. I saw that on the back of a truck, and somebody had in like block letters across the back of the truck, "Born on a Mountain, raised in a cave, trucking and fucking is all I crave."
I love it.
That's rough. I'm gonna be
That's
honest.
stuck to my head ever since that moment.
So that reminds me of this Facebook group I'm in called "Sounds Like Something My Trashy Cousin Would Post."
That does sound like something my trashy cousin would put. I don't really have any trashy cousins. I have one cousin.
I have cousins. I just don't
You
talk
only
to
have
them
one?
Yeah, I only have one cousin.
because I don't talk to my family.
Yeah, it's crazy how few cousins I have.
That actually is wild. I'm gonna be honest.
I have one cousin. I believe she's 28 or 29.
Whack.
I have
14
another
cousins.
one. I have a couple others, but they're all like mid to late 30s or mid 40s. I don't really know them. So I
mean,
technically have more than one
yeah.
cousin, but I only know one of my cousins. And
Interesting.
yeah, I'm also the only male out of all of those.
Really?
Like, I'm actually the only dude with my family name outside of my dad and his brothers. They only have daughters. Most of them don't have any kids, but yeah. So it's actually up to me to save the family line.
Are you going to be good at that? Or
So
or
far,
not?
he has not been.
Well, born on a mountain, raised in a cave, you know?
He's doing that trucking part just fine.
Yeah, sure, whatever you just said. Yeah, no, it's a big responsibility when I think about it. I'm like, damn, I have to save the family name. Speaking of having children, though, I don't know if it's just that time of year or what's going on, but everybody around me seems to be pregnant. Is that
Are you
I mean,
pregnant?
how
I'm
pregnant?
not. I'm fine.
On a scale of what, 1 to 9, how pregnant are we talking?
They're all varying stages.
Varying stages?
But there
Okay,
just seems
okay.
to be a lot of pregnant people or like new mothers around me, and a lot of the people, women that I work with, everyone is like, I'm like so excited and so happy and so proud. They're like, this is what pregnancy is like. I am pregnant. Deal with it. Pregnant lady coming through. I'm like, look, I get it. You're pregnant, but like, first of all, this isn't a unique struggle to you. This is actually how humanity has become the dominant race of our planet over the past, amount of time.
By getting pregnant?
Yeah, by getting pregnant and producing offspring. Like that is kind of how we propagated the planet. So you're not like the first one to get pregnant, weirdly enough. And second of all,
Whack.
like you're not that special. You just let somebody come inside of you.
And then didn't do anything
And
about
they
it.
go around toting it like that's like the most beautiful and magical thing about life.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know.
I'm okay.
Sometimes.
So I have a great many a thought because I'm the kind I never want kids. If I can help it, I would.
I'd love to have kids.
I will never ever produce offspring because let's be real, like 100% real for a second. If my family line is anything to go by, they will be exactly like me. And frankly, let's avoid that if we can.
Dude, I hope my kids are just like me.
I hope your kids are just like you too.
I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse you're trying to give me.
It doesn't matter.
Quite frankly, I think it's both, and I appreciate it.
Got you, man. But like, I feel like it's one of those things where it depends on the as weird as it sounds, it depends on like the circumstances of like getting pregnant. Because some people like actually
Yeah,
are
absolutely.
out of the right place. I find that the people who are like that, who are like, oh, I'm pregnant out of my way and like making a huge deal out of it, tend to be, in my opinion, like way too goddamn young to be having kids. Like,
Oh, yeah. They're probably nervous or scared, and that's how they externalize it.
of course, because it is
I do want to
scary.
clarify, because two of my older sisters are actually pregnant right now. And obviously this isn't a dig at them, because both of them are married and have stable jobs and are like, have had plans for this and are like at the point in their life where they're like, this is what they're prepared for, and they're not overbearing about it. The people I'm talking about are the ones who are like obnoxious and overbearing and they act like they deserve the most special treatment in the world. And I get it. You can't do everything because, you do have some level of like inability because of your pregnancy. You can't do certain things. You can't eat certain things. And I understand that. But it also doesn't give you a pass to be mean to people and then blame it on that, That's the problem I've had. Like the thing is, if you're just being a bad person to someone, you can have an excuse for it. Like, for example, I had a really rough weekend recently. I lost a friend of mine. I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been going through a lot of things. But if I'm rude to someone or if I say something that hurts someone deliberately, I have an excuse for it. But that doesn't excuse the behavior.
Just
That's my problem.
I think the problem is like a difference in like culture between explanation and excuse.
Exactly.
I would always rather hear somebody's reasons for why they did a thing, which I always hated the like, oh, don't give me excuses, fucking give me results or whatever, like that kind of attitude of like, no, I would much rather somebody tell me why they made the choice they did so that at least I can understand it. But
that makes sense.
it doesn't make it, ironically, and I'm going to throw a real weird wrench in this gears. The latest like 2 seasons of BoJack Horseman have been really dealing with that, of like this idea of like, you can have good, really, really, really valid reasons for being a garbage pile.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going at.
But you do not, that doesn't mean you get to be a garbage pile, or that there aren't consequences to being a garbage pile.
Exactly. And like I understand pregnancy is actually a very, very like impactful thing on your body and on your mind and on your, your emotions. I get that.
In so many
but
ways,
if you use it as a way to be mean and belittle people around you, you've got to understand the way that makes you look. And you do have a level of control over that.
Yeah.
Because what you can't control the way that your body is, you can control the things that you say, or at least the things that you do to rectify mistakes you make.
To an extent, I would say
definitely. We are actually just mansplaining to the highest order.
We are. I was trying to pull it a little bit away from like pregnancy specifically to like just being garbage pile in general.
I just like that's the problem I've had recently is people using things like pregnancy as an excuse for them to belittle people around them, and then think that there's no repercussions or no excuse or like no consequences. Like, I get to do that.
Yeah, like I am.
That's just the most common one I've been encountering for the past couple of weeks.
I mean, I've been of the, I'm a garbage pile, and like that is a very good reason for me to be an asshole. But like, I'm just an asshole because I'm an asshole. That's not like it's not an excuse. Like I'm not trying to like act like it makes anything I say or do okay just because I'm a fucked up broken person. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, how much do you do that's really not okay though? Because I feel like once you get to the point of actually acknowledging it, it becomes much harder to do it because of the toll it takes on you.
Say that again. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you're not actually that garbage of a person, or else you wouldn't know that you were a garbage person.
I don't know that I agree. I think you can be very painfully aware of how broken and like incapable you are, and yet not be able to change it.
Not be able to, or not do it.
Not be able to gather together the willpower to change it.
Okay.
I've always hated the idea of like, oh well, if you do something. If you say you didn't mean to do something and then continue to do it, like, oh, clearly it means that you weren't really sorry for it in the first place or whatever. And I don't think that's true, because I think you can make mistakes and make the same mistake over and over. And sometimes it's just a mistake that you can't, like, even if you are trying to fix it, you slip up or whatever. But I also think there is a responsibility to at least try to be better.
Yeah, I agree. And I see where you're coming from with that. I just, the biggest problem I have is that, like, if I have a problem that I know is a recurring problem, I seek to simply solve problems, which has, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, like, there's this YouTube video that's kind of blown up a while back, but it's called It's Not the Nail. And there's like this couple, and like this girl has got like a nail in her forehead, and the guy is like, she's like, my head really hurts. And her boyfriend, or the guy she's with, is like, hey, maybe it's the nail in your forehead. She's like, no, it's not the nail. And she's like, well, could we maybe try and get it checked out? And she's like, it's not the nail. Why are you always trying to solve things? And I feel like that's kind of relevant a lot of the time.
I think
because I just seek to solve things, and even though like they don't always need to be solved, that's just like the way some people's brains work.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to a understanding between whatever problem you're trying to solve, and like yourself, and if there's other people involved, those other people. Because like I tend to be the same way. I've like in my relationship, like for a very long time, I would just try to like fix the problem out the gate, and sometimes that's just not what needs to happen. Like that's not the actual. Yeah. Sometimes it's not. It's actually for real, not the nail, and they just need to bitch to somebody about this nail.
Exactly. Sometimes you need to complain to somebody about your problems, and then just let them keep being your problems, because at the end of the day, they're your problems.
Yeah. Or because there's nothing that can be done about them. Like. Mm-hmm. The nail's too deep. You can't get it back out, or it causes even further damage.
Yeah. And sometimes you like having little problems.
Honestly, there's some comfort in being broken. At least it makes you consistent.
It's just nice to be able to like complain about things around you sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is something I can complain about.
I also am a huge fan of complaining about things around me.
We know.
I do. I like complaining, but I don't like people who only complain.
Yes.
Like everyone gets a complaint quota for the day, you know? Mm-hmm. Like you come into work, you get to complain about a couple of things. You don't get to complain about everything the whole time. And once you voice your complaint to the people around you, that's it. Don't say it 4 more times. You're done
And
your
worth
complaint.
mentioning, coming in and saying, Mondays, am I right, counts as a complaint.
Yes, and it's also something you should be saying.
Yeah, because fuck Mondays. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Because the problem with Mondays is it means that Fingers in His Ass Sunday is over.
That's true. Why is it gotta be his ass?
You don't know about Fingers in His Ass Sunday?
I mean, why? I'm just asking why it has to be his and not fingers in their ass.
It's not his as in men. It's his as in Kanye West.
I see. No, I don't know about this then.
Yeah, Fingers in His Ass
I thought
Sunday
you were
is
just talking about
the
my
day we
sex life.
celebrate. No, that's the day we celebrate that Kanye West likes Fingers in His Ass.
Can you blame him?
I don't blame him at all. We celebrate. That Kanye
know,
West
I
likes
feel
Fingers
like-
in His Ass.
I feel like
Fingers in his ass doesn't really sum up the emotion of finger in your booty hole ass bitch.
Well,
That
the thing
was
is,
what was tweeted.
there's a song though.
Oh, there is.
It's actually set to one of the songs from the Undertale soundtrack, and
Of
then
course.
someone sings on top of it. They go, "Fingers in his ass, fingers in his ass. Kanye West he likes fingers in his ass." And they just kind of do that. It's just like a really funny, dumb meme. And every Sunday, everyone like posts like, "Haha, fingers in his ass Sunday."
is it
and
similar
that's why
to
Garfield hates Monday.
the age old "It's Wednesday, my dude"? Just dumb memes that
It's
just
kinda
don't quite
similar.
die.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's been a while now. Every Sunday, you just kind of like me and some of my friends will like text each other and be like, "Haha, it's fingers in his ass Sunday. What are you doing to celebrate?"
How come I never get those texts?
Because you didn't even know about it until today.
Or is it because we're not friends? Is that what it is? Are we just not friends? Hurt and offended.
It's a possibility.
Hurt?
I mean, as we
And also
cleared up in the
offended.
last episode, though, Jackson does not hate you.
I mean, that's fair. I just hate
Yeah,
me.
but there's a lot of people I don't hate that I'm also not friends with. Though.
That's fair.
Like, I don't hate most people actually.
Ooh, I disagree. Strong disagree on that.
You
I
hate most
I
people?
hate most people. People are the
Like, if you see
are the
someone walking
actual
down the
worst.
street,
If I see someone walking
you
down the
hate them?
street, there's a like above average chance that I do not like them.
That's how like you get incels.
No, because I don't hate. See, incels only hate people who are different from them. I hate everybody equally.
That's like one of those things like 13-year-olds post on Facebook as an excuse for being racist.
I mean, no,
I was about to say the same thing.
because it has nothing to do with race. Like that's the thing. Is like it's
Exactly, but that's the excuse they always make.
I get it. It's very true, and I probably did post some shit like that when I was 13 because I was 13 and I was dumb, and then I grew up and then I turned 21 and then I was still dumb. I mean,
I think I was probably racist at 13.
probably without realizing
Just
it.
knowing where the area we came from.
Oh yeah,
I don't
100%.
want to speak for everyone I know, but I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty racist when they're a kid.
Yeah, I think it has to
I
do
think it
with the
depends
whole
on where you
like.
come from, and I think if you come from the area we came from, it definitely is not impossible.
I mean, it
that everyone's
also.
Yeah, no, I
everyone's
agree.
racist.
I don't think it's like it's shoot. What's the word? It's not like it's not overt racism. It's shit.
I don't hate black people, but
Yeah,
and then they say
exactly.
something super racist.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It,
And
My
a lot of
grandma was
times-
the queen of that.
my
be
family
like,
can do that.
Oh, that Obama, he's very well spoken for a black man. Or my personal favorite was, the Wendy's downtown, that someone was handing out counterfeit money, and I don't want to say anything, but when I went through there, the person who took my money was black. And it's just like,
wait, the person who took the
Grandma.
counterfeit money?
No, the person that was behind the
That was
counter.
your grandma had the counterfeit money?
Yeah,
no, she never got counterfeit
just
money. It
kidding.
was just in the newspaper. But
Okay.
she's like, when I went there that one time, the guy that took my money was black, so
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense that that the blacks are handing out counterfeit money. And I'm like, Grandma, you
Yeah.
can't say that.
I'm really glad that because I definitely was at that kind of like microaggression point in my life when I was a kid. Just because of the area we were raised in, it was almost normal. And I
was
think as I
normal.
grew
It
older,
100% was
I got
normal.
rid of that. And it's not that doesn't excuse it. I think it was terrible, and I'm so ashamed of myself for being like that. But I think as I grew older, that became less of an active thing. And to me, I saw the people who were not biggest offenders, but just as bad of offenders were the ones who didn't call people out when they said stuff like that.
absolutely. You
Because that's the
gotta-
majority of the people around there.
Yeah, 100%. And because you're not calling people out, you're influencing people who are around you in the most subtle ways possible that it's okay.
Yeah. And I think people don't realize that small town America is still like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there still is.
110%.
Before I moved to the South, so this is going to be probably around August or July of 2015. I had this dude who I worked with at McDonald's who was black, and the general manager of the store fired him because Pennsylvania is one of those states where you can basically fire someone with no reason.
It's not a right to work
I think they call it right to work or whatever. I don't know. But
it is a right to work state rather.
Yeah, they fired.
Whatever, one way
she
or-
fired him, and her reasoning was because he was the N-word, hard R and everything, and she hated him for that. And she said that to his face in front of a whole bunch of people who worked there, and I wasn't there, and I honestly wish I would have been able to say that I would have done like freaked out had I been there, and I probably would have because he and I were pretty close. But no one did anything.
Yeah,
they just let that happen, and that's the America that like I'm ashamed of because I'm proud to be American, and I love the city of Austin. I love so many things about this country. But that's the America I'm ashamed of, and that's the America I think too many people get an image of.
I think it's one of those things. There was a quote I read. I want to say it was, I'm blanking on names. I can remember the quote more easily than I can remember the name. It was essentially just something to the effect of travel is the greatest enemy of bigotry.
That sounds like Mark Twain.
I think it was Twain, actually. Thank you. I kept thinking Road Down.
Twain,
I knew that wasn't it.
Mark Twain hated racism and slavery.
Ironically, because it's hate. This is a joke. It's not ironic. Whatever. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say ironic because he used the N-word in a bunch of his writing.
But it was only to portray those people who were actually like that.
Yeah. Which
also
is still rough.
I kind of had that conversation. I know you obviously were saying ironic in like a joking manner, Dan.
Yeah.
But I had that conversation with someone the other day because they said something to the effect of, well, you can't just yell at people for being like that. They're not going to change if you're angry with them.
I mean,
and the thing I had to bring up as an example is that, well, you're right, and talking to people calmly and open-mindedly is always a great option. There's some things, some evils, some realities that you can't just talk away. Like, you can't just, like, back in World War II, they couldn't tell Nazi Germany that they were being unrealistic.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't,
because some forces are so rampantly lost and so ignorant to the truth that the only thing you can do against them is to act out in aggressive manners in order to get them to maybe realign their priorities or get them to just stop thinking altogether.
I don't think I agree with you, even on such an extreme example, because I think that while I agree that you couldn't change with words, I don't think you could turn the entire Nazi party around. You could change one person, or you could convince one person to stop, to not be a horrible, or not be, well, I won't even say not be a horrible person, not be a Nazi. And if you can change one person, someone else can change another person, and that's like that, to me, that's what matters. And I think that there is definitely a time and a place to be angry and be violent and not just passively resist or whatever. But I also think that the idea that like that the only way to deal with people like that is be angry with them is.
Well, yeah, but I started my point out by saying that's not the truth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely misheard the whole thing.
The first thing I said was that the best thing you should always try and do first is calmly talk out your way, your ways of thinking with someone else.
Yeah.
But in certain situations with certain people, they would rather,
literally die,
not see the truth at all costs.
They would rather literally die than admit that they might be wrong, and that's unfortunate. I also think it's a time. There's an aspect of time to it. I think that generation, especially as more and more people move to, and especially as the world gets ever more connected and whatnot, like even like my younger siblings who grew up in the exact same situation I did are, for most of them, much more open-minded than I was at that age, and I think it has to do with just the steadily thumping beat of time.
Yeah, it's nice to know that in 100 years, racist people are just going to be dead.
Honestly, it kind of is.
Because we're past that.
I mean, we're not, because we've got other things to focus on.
I was gonna say I would believe you, except I know there's still like literal Nazi families around that
as much as I say we're past that, I mean people our age for the most part are past that. Yeah. My dad, although my dad is not a racist and my dad is actually super dope and super like forward thinking.
Yeah, we've talked about him a couple of times.
My dad was born in the era where people couldn't drink out of the same water fountain. They were a different skin color. And that's my dad. That's one generation removed. We're one generation removed from people not being able to go to the same school together. So I get that we've got a lot further to go, but as a country, we have come very far.
As a country and as a species as a whole, we're only I always like to point out that the time of 100 years time or a generation's time, whichever one you want to use, is so vast and things change so fast on the grand scale. That even though I don't think in 100 years racism will be gone, I would be shocked if any serious level of racism was in the way that it is today. asterisk in the way
I
that it is
personally
today.
just can't
I'll
wait.
accept that.
I can't wait for the God Emperor of mankind to unite Holy Terra as one, and then we can begin our imperial conquest
Honestly, I'm down.
to start the Imperium of Man as a
I'm
ruling
down.
force in the Milky Way galaxy. Yeah,
Although
it's gonna
I've
be
always
great
been a
when that
bigger fan of
happens.
the Eldar because, well, space elves.
You like the Eldar?
Of course I do. Of course I like the Eldar.
Why?
What are you talking
Why?
about? Have you met
Fucking
me?
heretic.
I
Fucking
mean,
heretic.
Absolutely. Just
What do they
evolved.
do? What do they do?
Don't they have the cool teleport shit? Aren't they the ones that actually like can
Everyone
interact?
uses the
not
wormwood
not in the
or
same
the
way,
warp.
but they have like a much closer relationship with the warp and can use it on like a much closer personal level than.
If they go in the warp, Slanesh eats their souls.
Let's see. Let's Google it.
What are
The
you
elves
talking
Warhammer
about?
40K.
Warhammer. The
Okay.
the Elder actually fucked so much that they created a space deity that sought nothing further than the destruction of the entire species.
Yeah, it's good times.
And that to me is metal as hell.
Yeah, no, the Eldar are great. I love 40K is a trip.
The podcast episode's over, guys.
All right, guys. All right, we're getting out of here.
Yeah, you're right. We should wrap up at this point.
So Jackson, where can they find you at?
Abita Springs, Louisiana.
I don't think that's where they can find you at.
Sipping a cold
that is where they can find
haze.
this delicious purple haze made by Abita
Yeah.
Brewery. Or Abita
actually-
Brewery.
I go
Really
there-
delicious. Is this something I need to find in my life somehow?
Yeah, if you can get access to it, it's worth
It's
getting.
okay.
It's a raspberry fruit lager.
It's pretty okay.
But I actually will be going to Abita Springs in like February for a little while.
So if someone's
yeah,
in
so-
Abita Springs in February, hunt
Yeah,
Jackson
if you're at
down,
Abita Springs in February, just tweet at the
and
podcast.
then,
I'll hit you up.
and then shit in his bed.
Don't shit in my bed. I'd be really sad.
Please do. I know it's a secret fetish. You can't tell anyone.
That's not what I'm into. I've extensively told everyone what I'm into. I talked to one of my friends today from like my personal life. We used to go to church together.
Oh no.
And he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I listen to every episode of the podcast." And I was like,
Oh my
oh
gosh.
no.
"So you know about me?" I didn't say that.
This is
you
why I
wouldn't know
don't
him.
like. I mean,
Okay.
I have one or
Yeah,
two.
his
I have a
name's
handful of
Luna.
people that I spread this podcast to in my personal life, but a lot of it is just like online. Because
Yeah, I can't wait until the whole internet knows that I jerk off to Bowser.
Bowsette.
We talked about this extensively. Not Bowsette.
I mean, not Bowsette.
That was
You're
like
right.
the whole.
You're right.
That was like the whole
You're
point
right.
of one of the episodes.
You're my bad. You're correct.
Yeah, we had an entire episode devoted to the fact that jacking off to Bowser was okay, and it wasn't okay to jack off to Bowsette if you didn't jack off to Bowser first.
Absolutely. I'm glad you retained that.
Equality.
Anyway, my name is Jackson. You can find me at twitch.tv/Jacksonium, where I'll be streaming some Pokemon content, especially with the upcoming very, very soon release of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Yeah, and then the Smash Ultimate's coming out soon. I'm really excited for
Oh,
that.
I'm so hyped for Smash.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, yeah, you can find me twitch.tv/Jacksonium. You can also find me at Twitter at Jacksonium with 2 M's, Instagram at Jacksonium with 2 M's, and Tumblr at Jacksonium with 2 M's. All of those places you're going to want to follow me because I don't use Instagram. Follow me on Tumblr and Twitter though, because it's lit. We have fun.
Lit AF, fam.
Lit AF. Dan, where can they find you at?
They can find me on mostly on Twitter right now at BornRule57, though I also do have an Instagram and I'm going to be posting a little more on there at BornRule57 as well. Because I'm starting back into production again and I'm so hyped, you guys. I've got a new
Nice.
film coming out in like a few months.
Is that the farmhand?
No, that's Michelle's. Although I
Oh,
am involved
dang.
with
Never
that,
mind.
and you guys can look up the Farmhand short film and get and find some real fun stuff on that. But no, it's this action drama. Wow, not action
Ooh, I
dramedy.
love dramedy.
No, fuck dramedy.
Oh.
Action. Not really, but it's this action drama about this kid who who embezzles money from his financial aid office and then has to face the consequences of that.
Nice.
Definitely in no way based on a true story because I would never do something like
Say,
that.
God, I hope they audit you guys.
But yeah, so that's gonna be happening. You're gonna see a lot more of that on my Twitter and on my Insta, and hopefully sooner or later I'll be able to start streaming again. That'd be great.
Yeah, you didn't send Noah off? Come on, Dan.
Sorry,
Yeah.
hey Noah, where you at?
It's just kind of rude. Oh, well, thank you, Daniel. I am on.
I stopped caring about Noah a while ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Bubbadabad, BUBBADABAD. And the podcast is on Facebook.com/OTA podcast, Twitter.com/The Off the Air, and Patreon.com/Off the Air. Now, while we would love to have you send us money so that we can do things like bonus episodes of content that we're individually passionate about or things like that, or, get enough so that we can commission Dan for some furry art, or commission some furry art of Dan, I guess I should say. More importantly, you guys can help us out by going on Apple Podcasts and rating the podcast. We have We actually have a couple of reviews on there real quick. I'm going to find them real quick because I would just like to read these out on air.
Well, he's finding those. I'm also going to point out that if you don't really want to review us on iTunes, honestly, the best thing you can do is just pass us along to other people that you know, or people that you might think be interested, or people that you don't think would be interested. True as well. Send us to your mom. Send us to your dad. Send us to your mom's dad.
Send nudes.
Also that. But only to Jackson, though. I am in a happily committed relationship and cannot.
Guys, girls, I don't care. DM me. My DMs are open.
My DMs are not open.
Everyone, send nude to Jackson.
I will shout you out if you send me nudes.
Oh man, I don't like that. I don't like that as a promise.
Or if you put in the message, I won't. Don't send me out. I won't.
I like the idea of like that coming back to haunt us in like 5 years.
And you know I'm not gonna like be doing weird things to it because I'm only into anime girls. Come on.
What if they are an anime girl?
That sounds like a nice guy thing to say where you're like, and don't even worry about it because it'll be totally fine.
Nothing could possibly go wrong with me soliciting nudes from people.
Only
via podcast.
Via podcast. That seems like a good plan.
You can also find us on Patreon.
It's true. I did already say that.
He already called us on the
Patreon.
Patreon.
But I was going to give a little bit more information about it.
I mean, go for it. If you have it.
Give some more information.
Patreon, guys, you should definitely make sure you check it out. If you want to support the podcast, that's probably the best way to do it monetarily. Become a patron. You become a patron, you can do a variety of cool things that range from being my friend to being Noah's friend.
That range all the way.
It's true.
That range all the way from just giving us a little bit of support and some access to some bonus content, all the way up to replacing myself with a robot, replacing Noah with which actor?
Danny DeVito,
and sending Jackson off to start his own farm
in Sri Lanka.
It's very important. It's very important.
I'll be living in a houseboat.
Yeah. So if you'd like to see any of those things happen in the next couple decades, feel free to start. Start. You got to start somewhere.
Why not here?
Why not here? Why not here? Why not now?
Why not now?
Honestly, it's a mere $50,000 to send Jackson to Sri Lanka.
I'm impressed that we're building a robot version of me and hiring Danny DeVito for just $50,000.
I mean, Danny DeVito will be the easy part. You know he wants to get involved in some other project, and he'll probably be dead by then.
Oh, too real.
Yeah,
too fast.
I had that thought recently that Danny DeVito will realistically be dead by the time we hit this goal.
I mean, then we just
I think the actor I'm going to miss the most is going to be Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott?
The actor I'm going to miss the most
I'll be sad to see
Morgan
him die.
Freeman. Always and forever.
I mean, I like Morgan Freeman, but Morgan Freeman's too much of a meme for me to take too seriously.
What about
Danny DeVito isn't?
Sir Patrick Stewart?
He's like 60.
That's true, though.
He seems so much older than 60.
Because he's bald.
I mean, also
because he gets stoned and sounds super old when he's stoned.
Fair. No, he's
All right,
78.
guys,
What are you talking about? He's 60. He's
now.
78.
Podcast is over, guys.
Noah was going to read some iTunes.
I can read our 2 reviews here.
Absolutely.
We have from person 15358:545.
The homie.
And he says, this podcast chews my gum real good.
Oh.
So thank you, person.
I will chew your gum
Glad to
all
hear it.
over the place.
And then from our very own Edge, we have Y'all Are Dorks. I like this podcast. It's fun.
Oh, thanks, Edge.
Thanks, Edge.
Don't come back.
So kind of you.
Don't come back. Jesus.
Actually, yeah, that's something we would love to hear, like some feedback on some of these episodes. So if you want to tweet at us and say, hey, I really like that episode where Jackson just talked about jacking off to Bowser for like an hour.
You know that's
episode where Noah got
that's the one
absolutely
plastered.
Yeah, this isn't going to happen again.
Oh, man, I really hope it does.
All right, guys, that's good. We've been off the air. Going off the air. I'm singing the Law and Order theme song, so that's good enough, right?